Hamburg wants to become a bicycle capital, like many other metropolises. But Hamburg has done already a lot for cyclists. Just behind me is one of the most beautiful cycling routes in the world, I would even say, because in Hamburg there's the Lake Alster in the city center, and you have as a cyclist the privilege to cycle along this beautiful scene. And today I'm going to show you how beautiful Hamburg is for cyclists already, and there's also still some things that have to be improved. Every morning between 7:30 and 9 there's a lot going on at the Alster. Commuters on their way to work in any weather. Cars don't have right-of-way here. Cyclists can ride side by side. The proportion of cyclists has increased significantly here, while car traffic has decreased. Hamburg has 14 cycling routes, like this route here at the Alster, called Velo routes, covering around 280 kilometers in total. And these routes are specifically designed for everyday commuting and work trips. And what's very special, those Velo routes run mostly away from main traffic streets. And here at for example, the roundabout at the Alster, you can see how the bicycle streets work. The signage clearly shows cyclists have priority. But there are still challenges, of course. Hamburg has a lot of construction sites at the moment, mostly to improve the very bad infrastructure. But sometimes bike lanes, for example, simply end in the middle of the street. Here, the speed limit for cars has been reduced, but such measures are unfortunately still rare. The Jungfernstieg in the heart of Hamburg. Private cars aren't allowed here, but buses, taxis and delivery traffic are. And cyclists share the road. I have to be honest, I'm usually a bit cautious and afraid because the buses come really close. In the Hafen city you can see the future. Wide paths for cyclists, dedicated traffic lights tailored for our needs. This is how it should look like. At the Oberhafen, it's still quite common in Hamburg, cobblestone like here, but I mean, it's very charming, isn't it? We also have showcase streets in Hamburg that have even won awards, like Königstraße. Here there are physically separated paths for cyclists. However, construction is still going here too. You can see bike lanes separated from the traffic, but then it happens again. The bike lane ends on the street and continues on the sidewalk. But still, there are clearly many dedicated lines for cyclists here, so no wonder that the Königstraße won an award. Wohlers Allee is also a very interesting example. There are modal filters that mean cars can no longer drive through this area. And there's also a Velo route. The bicycle street has calmed the neighborhood, and during rush hour, similar to the Alster, there's a lot of activity here. So as you can see, a lot is happening. There's progress everywhere, not only for cyclists, but also for pedestrians, for buses. So it's becoming more and more easier to leave the car behind and maybe choose the bike. So I'm very curious to see what's happening in the future. And I also see that there's the question of talking to each other, whether it's under cyclists and pedestrians. And I'm super happy that I can hop on my bike and enjoy the rest of the day on my beautiful bicycle.